Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to kind of address the very controversial subject of should you bath your snake. This is a very highly debated topic in the snake world. So there's going to be others out there with different opinions than mine. I'm just going by personal experience and what my breeders have told me and that kind of stuff. So take it with a grain of salt because this is what I do. So should you bath your snake? Yes and no. So there are reasons to bath your snake, but in general they don't need a bath. In their enclosures, you should give them a large enough water dish that they can soak in it if they want to, which is totally up to them. But as far as giving your snake a bath, oh my goodness, you should do it very carefully, do it very cautiously, and not do it very often. There are steps to take. So 2 reasons that you might give your snake a bath. Number 1, they've had a bad shed. If they've had a bad shed and they've got some stuck shed on their bodies and stuff like that, you can give them a bath and help them get that shed off. Number 2, like me tonight, if you are planning on taking your snake somewhere and you want to make sure that they've gone to the bathroom, you can bath your snake, because a lot of the times your snake will go in the water, or if they don't go in the water, they will go soon after. So in my case, this Saturday, I'm going to be going to a local museum for a reptile day, and I'm going to be taking all 3 of these girls with me to spend a fun 4 hours. So I want to make sure that they've all gone. They were fed just this past weekend. Well, okay, so she was fed just this past weekend because she's getting fed every week. These guys have been 2 weeks since they ate, so they should be well digested by now. However, I have not seen any poops in their cages, so we're gonna give them a bath and hopefully that'll help. So I figured I'd do a video on it, and I gotta do it anyway, so let's video this and kind of explain. So what are you gonna need to bath your snake? You are going to need a container. Now the size of this container can vary depending on the size of your snake. So obviously Nova's still just a baby. She's 2.5 feet, so she's really not going to need this size of a container. But my corn snake Eve is just about 4 feet, so this size of container is better for her. You can make it work though. I'm going to make it work for all of them. So you're going to need a container. You're going to need one of these guys. Now these guys come in various different things. This is just a digital thermometer. It's a temp gun that you point and it tells you the temperature of it, because you need to test the temperature of your water. So you need a temp gun of some sort. And you're gonna need a towel. My towel is currently up there. But a towel just to kind of dry your snake off after, so that all of the aspen bedding and stuff like that doesn't stick to them. So I have a towel up there. That's what you're gonna need. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some water in this container. Now you don't need much. So in this particular container, I'm only gonna fill like up to here, very shallow. So it should be just enough water to like cover your snake's body, and that's it. You don't want it really deep. So I've seen some videos online and stuff where somebody's like filled up their bathtub, like all the way filled up their bathtub, and then put their snake in there and the snake's just going crazy. Snakes can swim, but they don't particularly like water. So when you put them in the water, their bellies should be able to touch bottom. And as long as they can feel the bottom and they can have their heads up out of the water, they're going to feel a lot more safe, a lot more calm. And you'll notice later when I'm giving my snakes their baths here, I'm always going to be there with my snake, and I'm always going to be holding them in some part of their body so that they know that they can easily climb up my arm and get out of that water. So they're going to be very calm, you'll notice later. So I'm going to go get my water. You're going to want to test the water, like I said before. A good temperature that I have heard and what I use for my snakes is somewhere between 80 to 85 Fahrenheit. That's the temperature that you want your water. Because these guys are cold-blooded, if you get them in too cold of water, it can start crashing their systems. But on the other flip side, if it's too hot of water, you can easily burn them. So you want to make sure that you have lukewarm water about 80 to 85 Fahrenheit. So I am going to go get that water and I'll be back. Okay, so I have Eve here. Give her a little closer look here. This is my oldest corn snake for those that don't know. So we're gonna give her a little bath. I've got my water in my bucket, tested the temp and all of that fun stuff. So what I'm gonna do is her head is over on this arm. So I'm gonna end up putting her tail in. And I'm just gonna slowly lower her down, let her kind of get used to the temperature. Just like you, if you go swimming in the pool, you have to get used to the temperature slowly. So I'm just gonna let her do that. She's crawling around, which is absolutely fine. And so because this is just, I'm trying to get her to poop, I'm just gonna try and keep her tail end in the water. If she wants to have her head out, that's totally fine. So she's bucking around a little bit in here, so I'm not even going to try and put the rest of her into the water. I want her to feel safe and I want her to feel comfortable with this. So as you can see, I'm not holding her at all. She's just laid in my arms here. So she could totally get out if she wants to get out. She's trying to hide on me. So as you can see, she's not like super stressed out or anything like that. She's literally just hanging onto my wrist. She's doing the work, not me. And this is how you give your snake a bath. You just want to let them do their own thing, really. Obviously, I'm keeping her from going across my floor, but I'm not forcing her to be in the bath. I'm not, she's not frightened or anything like that. She's totally calm. I'm working at keeping her lower half in the water so that hopefully that will stimulate her to go. And the more, for this particular thing, the more they move their lower half around in the water, the better. And I continue to watch her. If I notice that she's starting to get panicky or that she's starting to fight it, I'm going to take her out. I'm not going to force her to stay in. I'm constantly checking the water with my fingers to determine if it's cooled off or not. So as you can kind of see here, a lot of people have been asking just how long Eve is. As you can see, she's pretty long. She's just about 4 feet. So I'm keeping her head out of the water. Her head has not touched the water. It might look like it on camera, but it's not. So now, as you can tell, she's getting a little bit more jumpy. So I'm not going to force her to stay in. I'm going to take her out. And I'm going to use my towel. Let her run through the towel. And that's how you give your snake a bath. I'm going to put her back and I'm going to get Ember. So obviously Eve did not go in the water, but that's okay. That will loosen her up, and if she does need to go, that will entice her to go within the next couple of days. So here's Ember, my scaleless corn snake. I've redone the water, reheated it. It's all back to temperature again. And so now we're going to do the exact same thing with Ember. We're just going to dip her tail in the water. Let her get used to it a bit. Now Ember is just naturally more of a type of snake that likes to move around. Eve is normally pretty calm, so she might be doing a little bit more moving here. And that's not because she's freaking out, that's just because that's just Ember. She likes to move. Which is totally fine. So again, her tail is in the water over here. Trying to keep that in the water. They'll pretty much like squish themselves against the side of the bin that you have them in. She tends to want to buck her tail out of the water a little bit more. But again, I am not holding her. As you can see, my fingers are loose here. This hand's not doing anything. My fingers are loose on her. She can move around. I'm not holding her. She's like frozen in place, which is actually pretty good. Can kind of move the water around their tail area a bit too, just to kind of entice the movement of the water. And you can kind of tell if they're gonna go because their cloaca, where they actually go from, kind of opens up a bit. Hers is not, so we'll see here. Again, like I said, if they don't actually go in the water, this still gets things moving. So within the next couple of days, they'll void. This girl likes getting me wet. She will like dip her underbelly into the water and then come try crawling on me. So her head is literally down in the water right now. She actually really likes the water. But I always have a hold of her, so she always knows where high ground is. Okay, so again, just taking the towel, let her curl through it. She gets her nice and dry. And that's Ember. So again, she didn't go, but that will entice her to go later. So I'm going to go get Nova now. Okay, so I had to change positions for this one because her tank is in the way when I pull it out. But this is Nova. This is my ball python. You haven't seen her in a little while. She's getting big. She's now 2.5 feet long. And she's got a spicy little attitude. But she's not that bad, actually. She's still just a baby. She's just over a year old now. She hasn't had that many baths. So we're going to see how she reacts to this, because I'm not sure how she's going to react to this. My other girls are used to it, but she's not really used to it yet. She seems to be doing pretty good. She's actually inching herself back into the water, which is kind of funny. So my cat is coming across here. Piper, get. Which I don't want. So anyway, yeah, this is how you give a snake a bath. A lot of people have commented and said, oh, do you put your snakes in your bathtub and give them a bath? You can put your snakes in your bathtub and give them a bath, but you cannot fill up your bathtub like I've seen online and like just have your snakes swimming around in your bathtub. That doesn't work that way. You can substitute this bin for your bathtub and just have your snake, like just put a little bit of water in the bottom and have your snake in there. I highly suggest you still do what I'm doing and anchor your snake with your hands. But you can totally just do this in your bathtub. You don't need to get a special bin for it or anything. So she's doing pretty good. This is only the second time that she's been in water like this. The first time was shortly after I got her. She had a shed and she didn't get it all off of her body. So I helped her. And she was okay with water then too. So it's a good sign. I'm not going to keep her in quite as long as I did the others, just because, like I said, this is only her second time in water, so I don't want to stress her out. She's doing great, though. I think she definitely had a urate, but she hasn't had a poop, so hopefully this will entice her. Again, I'm really just keeping her tail in the water, just because this one hasn't been in water a lot, so I don't want her to feel stressed. She's doing great, though. Yeah. So I'm not going to keep her in as long. Just because I don't want her to be stressed out. She's got a little bit more body to dry. So for those that were asking to see how Nova is doing, this is Nova. She's doing great. I love her to death. She's my pretty baby. Her coloring is amazing. I love it. She's getting big. I call her my chunky monkey. And no, she's not overweight. For those that don't know ball pythons, this is just how they are. They're a very heavy-bodied snake. So, she's perfect weight. That's my baby. Okay, I'm just going to go put her back and I'll be right there. Okay, so there you go. That was me bathing my snakes. That's how you do it. It's quite easy to do. It's doing it this way, as you could see in the video, is low stress for the snake. And that's mainly what you want. You know, you don't want this to be just fun for you. This is for the animal. And so low stress for the snake, and they really don't care. None of them went in the water, unfortunately. It's always a good day when they do, but none of them went in the water this time. But within the next couple of days, I'm gonna see them go in their enclosures. So guaranteed they will go in their enclosures within the next couple of days. So that's gonna be great. It's Tuesday today. We're not going to our function until Saturday, so they have a few days to do their thing, so to speak, and we'll be able to go, and I won't have to worry about anybody getting pooped on. So that's a good thing. Oh, for those wanting to know, this is a snake hook. I've had questions about what a snake hook is. This is a snake hook. They come in all different sizes, big, small, medium. This one is retractable, so it opens out, closes down for storage. This is a snake hook. So I use this mainly for my other boy that you don't really see on this channel. His name is Farron. He is not a friendly snake at all. He's a Taiwan beauty rat snake. So they have a temperament. He's just a display snake. I don't take him out anywhere because he bites me all the time. So snake hook comes in very, very handy for him. This little girl, Nova, has not yet figured out when there's food and when there is not food. So my top two, and I have another video on this if you scroll back to my channel. If I can find it, I'll link it. But these two have learned that when there's food and when there's not food. There's never food when I simply just reach into the enclosure and grab them out. There's sometimes food waiting when they go back in. So they've learned that. So I have no issues with them. She hasn't learned that yet. So as soon as I open her enclosure, she's coming up looking for food. So I simply just use the snake hook to push her away, and then I can grab hold of her body and bring her out safely. So she will eventually learn that, but not yet. She's only a year old. She's still a baby. So yeah, she's sitting here looking at me right now. She's kind of put out because she's like, why did you disturb my sleep, bring me out of my enclosure, and then not feed me? Oh, we even got a great big yawn. Oh dear. Anyway, that's that. That's this video. I hope you enjoyed. A few people had been asking me how I bath my snake, or if I bath my snake, so hopefully this will answer your questions. If you have any more questions on it, please feel free to comment below, and I will do my best to answer them for you. until next time, stay safe, be happy, and I'll be back soon. Bye, guys.